It's mind-blowing what's happening in Fortnite right now. While the island steps into the age of kaiju battles, the season finale and the live event are ready to wreak havoc. Daigo has completed the ultimate masks. Who will reign supreme? And what's on the line? Grab some popcorn and get comfy, because this one's going to be epic. All over the island, a bunch of collabs, and some surprises that not even the most dedicated Fortnite players saw coming. This update is full of content, so let's jump right into it without further ado. From the very start of Fortnite's new season, Night Rose is introduced as a key character in the storyline. But here's the catch: if you don't dig into the details, you'll barely know anything about her. Most of her lore is hidden in the smallest hints, making her one of the most mysterious characters yet. So, who is Night Rose? The story of this season kicks off with Kendo and Hope chasing Night Rose through the dark alleys of Seaport City. Right away, they notice something's off about her. Even when cornered in a dead end, she scales a building like it's nothing, totally defying logic. That's when they realize they're dealing with someone seriously dangerous. The chase takes them all over the map until Rose leads them into a trap. A portal opens, and out comes Shogun X, a giant demon ready to help her fight Kendo and Hope. We know she's a boss on the map, that players can fight for better loot. But something about her screams demonic, especially when you notice the creepy mask controlling her. Her in-game description reveals a major twist. Night Rose was once human. She was normal, just like everyone else, but she's now During fights, it's not Night Rose herself that's attacking you. It's the demon pulling the strings. This explains why her back bling is literally a puppet. And while she seems like the enemy, she's not inherently evil. She's just cursed, forced to fight under the demon's influence. Here's where it gets even deeper. Night Rose's lobby music tells her story, just like the music tracks we've seen for other lore-heavy characters, like The Origin. In her music, we learn she's fully aware of her curse and desperately wants her freedom back. It's heartbreaking. She literally says, "I just want to get my freedom back." That's when it hits you. She's not just a boss to defeat. She's a tragic character trapped in a situation beyond her control. In-game, this idea is reinforced during battles. To truly defeat her, you don't shoot her. You target the mask controlling her. Occasionally, she'll regain brief moments of freedom, but the demon keeps dragging her back into the fight. When you finally defeat her, she regains full control of herself. Fortnite clearly wants players to understand the real enemy isn't Night Rose, it's the mask and the demon behind it. Early in the season, most of us were confused about how to fight her. Admit it, you were probably shooting at random things like the rings, the rooftops, or even at her, wondering why nothing was working. Turns out, the mask's glowing eyes are the weak point. Once you figure that out, it all clicks. There's also a cool Easter egg tied to her skin. If you use the Night Rose skin to visit Jade, who's currently trapped in the demon realm, she'd say something like, "We all deserve our freedom." It's a subtle nod to Night Rose's story and the emotional depth behind her character. Honestly, it's moments like these that make Fortnite lore so intriguing. They've created a character who's not just a boss, but a layered, tragic figure with a story worth exploring. Even Jade knew that Night Rose wasn't a bad person. She knew Night Rose deserved to be free. Her name says it all. Rose, a perfect flower, something beautiful and normal at its core. But then there's the night, symbolizing how she's been consumed by something dark and demonic. It's like she was this flawless rose that became tainted, only blooming in the shadows, controlled by a demon that only appears at night. Now here's the wild part. Night Rose is on the map, and you can actually gear up and face her. If you head to Demon's Dojo, you can grab your equipment and go into battle against her. But let me warn you, the fight is no joke. It's long, challenging, and emotional because you're not just fighting her, you're fighting the demon controlling her. And here's where it gets intense. During the fight, you'll notice something in the audio that really hits you. When you're fighting her, Night Rose's voice is completely demonic. It's harsh, angry, and terrifying. But the moment you defeat her, when the demon's grip loosens, you'll hear her real voice. A voice filled with desperation and agony. It's haunting. You realize that she's been trapped this whole time, screaming for help, but unable to break free. I mean, listen to this. That first voice, pure demonic rage. But now listen when the demon lets go for a moment. You hear the real Night Rose, the human, pleading and broken. It's devastating to realize how much she's been suffering. And here's the crazy part. When you finally take her down, you free her. You break the demon's control, and you can hear it in her voice. She sighs with relief, like she's finally free after being trapped for so long. It's subtle, but there's this echo of happiness in her sigh, like she's breathing freely for the first time. Did you hear that? It's such a powerful moment, and it shows just how much depth Fortnite has put into her story. But here's where things get even darker. After you beat the boss and free Night Rose, the demon leaves behind a medallion, the same one that controlled her. And when you pick it up, something terrifying happens. The medallion emits a sound, and suddenly, you're the one being possessed. It's like the demon transfers its curse to you, and you become the new host. It's such a wild twist, and honestly, it's mind-blowing to think about the layers Fortnite has added to this character and event. This storyline is absolutely next level. Night Rose's fight isn't just about gameplay, it's about understanding her pain and breaking her free from the demon's clutches. But in doing so, you risk becoming the next victim. Fortnite really went all out with the storytelling here, and it's honestly one of the most intense and emotional boss fights in the game. But we can dive even deeper into this lore, because while we've covered Night Rose's story, there's still so much more to uncover. Now we know the demon we see in the air is the one controlling her, right? That much is clear. But here's where things get wild. If you look at this demon, it resembles a mask. And masks have been a huge deal this season. Think back to Raz. Remember his mask? He had one. The last reality could have been experimenting with masks infused with the same energy that later powered the cubes. These masks might have been their foundation, the origin of their power. Fast forward to this season. Remember when Dago created a mask for his little sister Jade? The Masked Meadows? When it was introduced, we saw purple smoke rising from the basements connected to it. That smoke, that energy, it might just be the same type of power linked to the cubes. Even the Cube Queen, when you think about it, had elements of a mask. Look closely at her design. Her face looks like it's partially fused with a mask, with horns and pieces of it becoming part of her. It's possible that masks are the literal foundation of the last reality's power, shaping everything they've created since. This brings us back to Night Rose. If masks really are that deeply tied to the last reality's origins, it might explain the demon's connection to her. And who knows, there could be even more to uncover. In future story quests, we might finally learn more about Night Rose and her connection to all of this. For example, I found some flames in Demon's Dojo in replay mode that don't currently appear in the game. Stuff like this often hints at upcoming story quests that haven't been activated yet. Maybe we'll be tasked with collecting these flames to piece together even more of the lore. One thing's for sure, Night Rose's story isn't over, and there's so much more waiting to be discovered. Fortnite has been dropping subtle hints everywhere, and it's only a matter of time before we learn the full truth. To uncover why and the devastating war between two of its most powerful clans. On one side stood the Oni clan, allied with the Fox clan, best known for Drift and his crew. Opposing them was the Deer clan, who ultimately met defeat. Evidence of this is scattered across the battlefield. Banners marking the war zones, the fortress, and the conquered area now known as the Warrior's Watch. Interestingly, these banners are the same ones seen on the Shogun X, which makes me think he was part of the Oni clan. The war started with an artisan who crafted magical masks, using the island's inherent magic. These masks, utilized by both the Demon Clan and the Fox Clan, were so powerful that they could potentially erase the island itself, created then with the ability to destroy everything. Once they recognized the chaos they had unleashed, the magic vanished to protect the island. However, magic has now returned, and with it, the powers of the masks have been reawakened. With the magic gone, the clans lost their greatest advantage and likely formed a peace treaty with others, such as the Toad Clan and the Tanuki Clan. Yet, as Mitsuki points out, the Fox Clan suffered the most. They were seen as the main instigators of the war. Now, demons, magical masks, and ancient stories are coming to life once more. These tales didn't help the clans the first time around. and they certainly don't. Fragment restored magic. It awakened both kind island spirits and wicked demon spirits. Sadly, one of these spirits aims to wreak havoc on the island. Masks have reappeared, but not from a magical realm. Someone is making them right on the island. That individual is Daigo, the grandson of the legendary mask maker. Daigo is the eldest sibling of Kendo and Jade, but their relationship is complicated, particularly between Daigo and Kendo. Jade, being the only girl, shares a special bond with the spirits of the island. When she receives a spirit, she can become the guardian Jade, but this also makes her susceptible to being possessed by demon spirits. So far, her full potential hasn't been fully explored in the storyline, but the loading screens and character designs provide hints. For instance, Jade's loading screen clearly states, "I will not let this curse destroy who I am." She's an intriguing character, motivated by a need to comprehend the island she considers home. However, her curse serves as both a blessing and a burden. Kendo is currently the main character in the story, or at least the one who seeks our assistance to start exploring this island. These early challenges, by the way, offer a significant amount of XP, so they are definitely worth tackling. The first step is to have a conversation with him. The island has transformed since that mysterious object streaked across the sky. The magic we once only heard about in legends has come to life. The portals to the spirit realm, which were thought to be mere relics of the past, are now being utilized by demons to invade our world. Before helping Kendo, we need to talk about his eldest brother, who is likely the one of the biggest villain of the season. To start, he's the heir to his grandfather's mask shop. The same grandfather who, as I mentioned earlier, was the villain of ancient history. If we speak to him directly, he lies, saying that all the masks don't have magical powers. We stopped working with that stuff ages ago. We make masks of immense power, but ancestors burned the secrets of how to create them. As we can hear, he's incredibly ambitious about gaining power. He even admits to having powers himself because he's been practicing magic. These powers could be one of two types: void control, whose origins remain unknown, or spirit control, as the masks he is currently making possess this ability. The masks I just mentioned are not the ones sold in the shop. Instead, they are the void mask and the fire mask. To understand this, just look at the Daigo's loading screen. It clearly shows him constructing an Oni mask. Worse still, he has trapped sprites, indicating that he is actively creating masks with magic. He is therefore responsible for the existence of these weapons. But that's not the worst of it. He also has the ability to repair ancient pieces with gold, a technique traditionally used in Japan. The problem here is that he hasn't just used this skill to repair masks, he's also seemingly used it to fix the dragon portals. In his Go loading screen, the caption reads, "A true artist uses every tool at their disposal without hesitation." This character, described by his siblings as selfish, proves their claims. In his quest to reclaim his grandfather's power to create these masks, he's condemning not just the island but also his family. Daigo also reveals some secrets about the spirit realm. Humans cannot enter the spirit realm, only demons can. I'll admit, I burn with curiosity to see that world and the ancient secrets it might hold. However, not even I can cross the threshold yet. As you can see, while this is technically the hidden story, the clues are all there. The story seems fairly straightforward about what's to come. But for now, we're still in the early stages of this adventure involving this young man. He might even become a demon, or something similar. For now though, we just need to help Kendo with his challenges. The first task involves dealing damage to demons, which is pretty straightforward. You just have to hit one with the katana a few times to reach the required 350 damage. After that, you'll need to place fox-shaped statues similar to the ones shown here. These statues are spread out across the island, and you only need to position 3 of them. Next, you'll need to collect residual essence from places like the Warrior's Watch or Demon's Dojo. It doesn't really matter which location you choose, since each has 3, and you only need a total of 5. These spirits pay homage to the ancient war era, representing the old warriors who have passed on, which is why they take on this form. Since these spirits are so ancient, you'll need to focus on eliminating more recent demons. I suggest targeting groups of 3. Take one out, and then move on to the next group of 3 demons. You can tackle this challenge in just 2 matches. Now let's discuss the two most significant demons this season. First up is Shogun X. He's a fascinating character, essentially a shadow. However, his statues across the island indicate that he was once the leader of the demon clan, and now he seems to have returned from the dead, or something along those lines. So here's my theory. Shogun could be the grandfather of Daigo and his siblings. This idea makes sense since they frequently discuss the artisan, but never mention the clan leader, who might actually be the same individual. Aside from this theory, not much is known about Shogun. He's essentially a blank slate. Well, more like a black shadow, so he remains a mystery. Given his strength and presence on the island, it's likely he'll have a significant role in the story, or at the very least, loopers will recognize him for the impressive character he is. The same applies to Night Rose. In fact, as I've mentioned, I believe Daigo will turn out to be the antagonist to break free the Puppeteer, the main villain of this season, who control all this demons being from Spirit Realm. Which figure is most likely is.